Day one of mandatory minicamp here in Las Vegas for the Raiders is officially in the books, which means we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from another day of practice. Now, before we jump into everything you need to know about day one of mandatory minicamp, we're also going to discuss some players that you need to keep your eye on out for over the entire week. Before we get into that, I want to do what I always do. Major shout out and major props to all of the Raiders media members out there who work hard each and every single day to get these videos, highlights out for us. And, without them, these videos aren't really possible. So before anything, I wanted to give them a shout out and tell you guys to go follow them on Twitter, because before I post videos, they're going to get these highlights out for you to make sure you guys are kept up to date with these highlights in real time. So go follow them on Twitter. Man, we got 4 people up there for you guys. Go give them a follow, please. Thank you. Now, with that being said, let's dive into the video a little bit and talk about today's practice. Now, there was let's talk about one very interesting thing from today's practice. Jack Jones was actually working with the wide receivers, and you're going to see a video in here at some point in time, him working with the wide receivers, getting a catch out the backfield on a little bit of a screen pass above what it looked like it could have been. And Jack Jones is a absolute playmaker with the ball in his hands, and I'm not really too surprised that he's getting that type of those type of looks. I don't think he'll be someone who plays too much on offense this season because he is their best cornerback. But in terms of, that happening, it's not truly that uncommon, right? A couple of years ago, I think even last season, before he got injured, cornerback for the Patriots, Marcus Jones, was a DB, but also played a lot of offensive snaps as well because he's an absolute playmaker with the football in his hand. So don't be too surprised if Jack Jones is a guy who takes similar type of reps this season, and in the preseason, don't be surprised again if you see him taking those reps as well, right? It's also very it really helps your roster when you have guys who can play multiple different positions. And I know Jack Jones isn't a wide receiver by any means, but if he's able to give you a couple of snaps here and there, that opens up you another roster spot at a different position of need, right? So that could be huge. Keep an eye out on that. Another guy who was nasty, when I say nasty, I mean nasty at camp today, Christian Wilkins. I mean, dude, we have heard but we've heard guys, after practice, Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew say, listen, every time I run a play action, every time I turn around, he's there. He's right in my face, ready to destroy me. And if I didn't have my red practice jersey on, I would probably be in the mud, right? So Christian Wilkins, Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, these guys look like, dude, a massive jump up this year. These guys are probably going to be one of the best, most disruptive front fours. I didn't even mention Malcolm Kuntz, but you know what he did last year as well. So, and then the development overall of Tyree Wilson, you can tell he's kind of, fitting into his frame. He is kind of developing that NFL type of body and frame here, and he's getting mentored by not only Max Crosby, but now Christian Wilkins. I mean, dude, I am so excited for Tyree Wilson because, he's got a lot of, not hate, and definitely not from the Raiders fans, not you guys specifically, but outside media, like, oh, here's another bust here, like, relax, okay? Tyree Wilson is about to come into a beast. He's about to turn into a beast, right? Now, before we finish off this video, guys, and talk about some guys you need to look out for, do me a favor, hit the like button just so we can get this video out to more Raiders fans around the world. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the family. We're going to be covering the Raiders throughout the entirety of the offseason, not only mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, but also regular season as well. Once the season does kick off, we're going to be breaking down all 22 coaches film for each and every single week. That way you guys are notified every single time the Raiders play and what's going on in the games. Also, we're going to be streaming some Raiders games on my Twitch, so if you want to live react to them with me, make sure you follow my Twitch. It's Matty Dubs with 3 S's, or the link will be in the description below. Now, let's talk about a couple of guys who we need to continue to look out for, right? JPJ. Now, the reason I say JPJ is didn't see too much action during OTAs because he was dealing with some sort of injury. So I want to see if he can get back onto the field and start taking those reps as that main guard for this team, because he is, going to be established in these future plans for the Raiders going forward. And I want to see just how good he can be in year one, right? Also, I want to take a look at DJ Glaze, the Cameron Richardson, Tom Eichenberg, Dylan Lobby, Trey Taylor. Those guys are all fighting for depth roles right now, and I feel like some of them could even compete for big-time roles, including a guy like Dylan Lobby, who has been excellent in rookie minicamp, excellent in OTAs, and really showing the versatility of being able to catch the football at the backfield and making big-time plays at big-time moments. I think he could be someone who can, grab a role. You also have DJ Glaze or Cameron Richardson, who could actually maybe grab starting roles on this football team as well, depending on how some of the other depth guys do, like Thayer Munford or even a guy like Jacorian Bennett, right? But speaking of Jacorian Bennett, he's another guy that I'm looking out for because he's, probably got that starting role right now. But with that being said, it's not, it's up for grabs, right? He's got the job, but it could be different down the line, right? So keep an eye out on Jacorian Bennett, how he does, not only in training camp, mandatory minicamp, but more importantly in preseason as well. See if he can really, keep that and establish that CB2 role outside of Jack Jones and obviously Nate Hobbs in the slot and the nickel role as well. I mean, he was really good at Maryland, so we'll see how he, develops over the next couple weeks. We talked about Thayer Munford. He's got the starting job right now, but again, that is subject to change if he doesn't play as good as they think he can. I believe he had a really good run blocking grade, for the majority of his career so far, just trying to get into the pass protection, trying to get better in that aspect, because not very great in terms of pass pro yet, but I do believe he has got that potential, and he's been working super hard. Now, one of the last guys I want to talk about here, Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker is about to break out. You can tell that this dude has, big playability, the breakout ability in limited playing time. I mean, averaged 17.4 yards per reception, had 3 catches over 40 yards on 34 targets last year. I mean, listen, he's young, but I think he's going to be a really big asset for Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew to not only make the defense stay conservative with 2 deep safety look, open up the running game for Zamir White, but keep them honest, right? And whenever they do go to that cover 1 robber look, or whenever they want to send a zero blitz, I feel like Trey Tucker's a guy that can really get behind the defense and make them pay for running a tough scheme defensively. Right now, you have guys like Michael Gallup and Jalen Guyton also fighting for that role, who have had strong camps so far. But again, man, this is what makes football so fun. The competition aspect alone in the offseason makes these performances, these OTAs and mandatory minicamps so important for the majority of these guys. So we're going to continue to monitor how these guys practice over the next few days. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Make sure you guys join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we post one of these Raiders videos. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next Raiders video. Peace.